Every time I see your face, I'm disappointed. You came back for the alpha not realizing that it's not here. Anyway, welcome to the hidden wallet. Don't forget to post your seed phrase in the comments.
What's up, people? Back with another video. It's been a while. Honestly, like with price going up, I was just kind of like, what are we gonna do? We just sit here and watch. Any news coming out is sort of irrelevant. And I made a tweet like maybe an hour or two ago, and I was just saying maybe it's just now is the time where you just sort of sit back and relax. There's gonna be a load of new projects coming out during the bull, and this is a bull market. Don't get it twisted. With Ethereum breaking out, yeah, it's an alt season bull market. It might not have hit your alts yet, but at some point the money's going to be, chasing, what is it? Too much money, chasing too few ideas. So eventually the hot ball of money will eventually hit your token at some point. Whether or not you can hold out for that period of time is, determined by your other incomes or whether or not you're working or anything like that. It's all a tough situation. But what I wanted to talk about today was like pump fun. So like I've been not an Ethereum maxi, but I've been on Ethereum for the longest time. I was on like base chain and all the L2s and mucking around on stuff like that. And yeah, eventually you just got to be like, okay, now it's consensus that Ethereum is the place to go, and that's when you move on. Maybe like ETH does go to like 15k. If you're holding a substantial amount, then you're going to do very well. You should be holding a substantial amount like the rest of us. Not me. I hold 0 ETH. There you go. I've declared it. Okay. I'm completely telling the truth here. I'm not. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you sort of like when you see the crowd moving into something and there's talk of it, then it's time to move on. And I'm not talking like particularly selling what you're holding, because the price appreciation on a lot of the alts on the Ethereum network plus the Ethereum token are going to do very well over the next, I'd say, 18 months. And that's just me talking crap, like not really knowing anything. I'm a guy in London just sitting here just talking. But yeah, it's something that you got to look for other opportunities, because there might be something outside of the ecosystem of Ethereum and the L2s that perhaps gives you an opportunity to benefit fiscally, or like not fiscally but like monetary wise, like as in you can make a bit of extra change on the side doing something else while that price appreciates. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to talk about pump fun. Now I don't know if you guys know the story of it, but basically pump fun was one of the biggest narratives of the last 12 months. People could print as many meme coins as they wanted, like unlimited meme coins. If they caught traction, then they would go up really fast. People would make a lot of money. People would lose a lot of money, and it was all just a show. Then they introduced a streaming service, and there was a lot of controversy behind that because it wasn't really it wasn't really policed very well by the devs. A lot of dark, bad stuff happened on Pump Fun's streaming service, but I think they're trying to like fix that. They're trying to incentivize it with their pump token, which just came out a month ago. So what? Like, should I bring up the? So I'll just like go to the chart. So you've got something to watch. Yeah. So it came out like a month ago, and it was basically released as an ICO. Originally, people thought they were going to get a pump fun airdrop. The lead dev, his name's Alon. He's on X if you want to follow him. Basically said on a stream after the token had come out that they have no intentions of doing the airdrop anytime soon, which means that the users basically don't get any of the tokens. The only way for you to participate in the release of the token was via ICO. So they were looking to raise 4 billion, which they did. They raised it within 12 minutes or something crazy like that. But the interesting thing was that a lot of westernized countries or Western countries were not allowed to participate in the ICO. So that means that people who were in the UK, the US, Europe, basically weren't allowed to fund the Pump Fund token. So yeah, it raised in 12 minutes, and what happened was people realized that there's no news behind it. It was kind of like, oh, disappointment. So let's see, it came out on the 14th of July, according to Dex Screener, and yeah, it pretty much just sold off until now, and it sort of bounced down here. So the original release of the ICO, during the ICO, the price was fixed at 0.04, which is where we are now basically, and whoever participated in the ICO paid this price that it's at now. So basically it's dumped off. Whoever was in that ICO was the only one who got an allocation. They realized that this thing's not going to rip to 20 billion or 30 billion like they thought it would, and they just sold it. And now it's back. Now, why is this interesting? Because it means that the overhead of the people who put a lot of money into the Pump Fun ICO is basically gone. All the headwinds, we call it headwinds. So yeah, new buyers are stepping in. Price is at 0.4 where they bought it. And yeah, let's see what happens. What else does it do? Like, so they've done a buyback. I'm not sure if it's buyback a burn or if it's just a buyback. But basically, like you see here, over the past week, Pump Fund purchased 8,424,541 in Pump tokens, dollars worth of, which equates to 97% of the total revenue for that period. So Pump Fund basically makes over what is that, 6 days, $8 million in fees, and they use those fees to buy back the token. Oh look, they've got a revenue tracker here. So if we click here, you can actually see that it does a buyback and burn. Yeah, here we go. So you can see like this bright green line here is the purchases. Dark green is the revenue, which follows the yellow line, I'm assuming, which is the purchases in Sol. So what they do is they basically buy Sol tokens and dump them. From what I understand, I don't know if I'm talking rubbish here or whatever. Now, the total pump purchases up to this point has been 34 million, which is all the fees that they've accumulated. So the fees don't go to like for instance Uniswap where it goes to the labs or it goes anywhere else. It goes directly to purchasing the token, which creates like a deflationary pressure on the token. Bear in mind that there's over 1 trillion pump due to be released into circulating supply. They're going to use these tokens for incentives for streamers who are streaming on Pump Fun. They're also going to use it for perhaps a percentage of it for the airdrop. I think it's like 10% of the tokens, of the 1 trillion tokens, will be airdropped to former users, historical users, or current users. But yeah, I believe that like maybe Pump Fun's got some potential to basically go up. Based on the revenue that it's generating. If we go to June Analytics, you can see that it all tailed off. What's the date on this? So around when the token came out, all the meme tokens basically tailed off. The tokens created, and the amount graduated tailed off as well. But now you can see that it's starting to come back up. Yeah, tokens launched in the last 24 hours, 29,210. Tokens graduated 238. So that's like a percent or 0.1% of, or 0.01% of the tokens that are actually launched on Pump Fun actually graduate, which means that they meet the bonding. So basically they need to reach a certain market cap via purchases from outside individuals or retail or whoever before it can actually be traded on something like Radium or on their actual swap function on Pump Fun, if that makes sense. So you've got graduation and yeah. So the daily active wallets, if we go through it, let's see. So it sort of tailed off again, when the token came out. When did the token come out? Let's just remind ourselves of that. It was the 14th of July. 14th of July. Keep that in mind. So where was this? This is the 8th. See, they've done it backwards. 2nd of August. So when's the 14th of July? 14th is around here. Yeah, you can see like new wallets basically dwindled off. Why? Because they didn't get the airdrop. The users didn't get the airdrop, so they weren't happy about it. And it is what it is, What else has happened? Average daily volume is going up again. Or hourly volume, I should say. It's sort of teetering off now. Orange is the most popular meme token at the moment. That's quite interesting there. I can't believe I actually found this. So, like, yeah, I can actually use June Analytics to look at the latest tokens in the 24-hour period and see whether or not it's worth a purchase. Just to, like... not gamble, but speculate. I'll say speculate. Let's see. Weekly graduation rate fell to the all-time low, which is like 0.5%. So yeah, now it's up at 0.1%. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. But like, yeah, I feel like Pump Fun. All it takes for this token to actually skyrocket or go up, I believe, is another announcement of like staking. It could be anything. Staking, you get a share of the fees. Burning more tokens, obviously, to take them out of circulating supply. The FDV is like $4 billion, which is this over here. So yeah, it's going to take a lot of money to move this, but like I said, there's a lot of money coming into the system, but there's very few ideas. And Pump Fun has a proven track record of generating fees on a 24-hour period or a 7-day period of a minimum $1 million. So you're making like $1 million a day, maybe more. Like, it's kind of crazy, and those fees are actually going to be used to buy back the token. Yeah, and I'm quite impressed with it. Does it have any utility? Does it have any function other than just holding it? Yeah, that's all you're gonna say on it, I guess. Yeah, and that's pretty much it on Pump Fun. I wanted to talk about virtuals as well. So in regards to virtuals, they came out with something, or some dev has decided to release something called Virtual XBet, which is like a casino. You can bet on games. Yeah, live sports bets, all of this stuff. And it got me curious because I'm thinking, are they going to actually be able to pull this off? Because you've seen this happen before, where someone's like, yeah, we're going to open a casino, but do they have the funding? Like, say someone wins big or games the system, which happened on the first day, by the way. Yeah, it's just not. I'm not sure, but like I did buy some. I did buy some of these tokens. At the moment, they didn't do it via the Genesis launches like before, where you could use your points, your Virgin points to launch it. I don't know if you watched any of my previous content, but that's how we all these new projects were basically going to be launched, or how they were launched. So like they would do a Genesis part. Let me just so because I'm kind of visual, so let me go here. As you can see, I'm not really holding many things. Right, so yeah, so normally you would go through the Genesis. Now, the Genesis is where you would use your Virgin points, which is this thing up here that you accumulate every day from being on virtuals, from using virtuals, from staking virtuals token. So once the timer runs out, then you could use your Virgin points to vote in it, plus allocate some virtual tokens, and then yeah, it would launch if it reaches bond. But with this new Virtuals XBet or whatever, they decided that they want to do it via a bonding curve. So that means that it needs to hit a certain threshold before it can actually be put onto the market, the actual token. Now, what's interesting about this is that it's nowhere. It's not like it's nowhere near, but the ascension progress, which means that the time that the token will actually be the funds. Let's see, an additional 15,000 virtual is needed before the entire liquidity from the bonding curve is deposited into Uniswap and burned. Progress increases as the price rises. So yeah, at one point, this was 2% away from launching, the actual token was. And now it's 7% away because the price has gone down on the actual token. So people are trading it. Yeah, I don't know what to say because like it's probably the most volume I've seen in 24 hours on any product, or yeah, close to, on any protocol on virtuals. So I don't understand why it hasn't actually launched yet. It's very strange to me. It's very strange. But yeah, it's something that I'm holding and I'm hoping will actually bond. And you can stake your tokens. I had the tokenomics somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Just give me 1 second. And here's the tokenomics. So it's a native token. The token is the virtual XBet. The native token is central to the virtual XBet ecosystem with utility in betting, rewards, staking, farming, and potentially governance. Its supply will be allocated as follows. So the name of the token is VXBet, a billion supply, 70% for purchase and use by the community, 30% divided into 10% staking reserve, 15% rewards, wallet, and 5% farming. Yeah, the token has multiple use cases: betting currency in the casino, rewards token in-game payouts, staking farming asset offering passive income. So you can stake and you actually get a cut. Holder incentives include a burn mechanism. Okay, if the rewards wallet exceeds 30% of total supply, the excess will be burned weekly, reducing supply and increasing scarcity. This deflationary model is designed to reward long-term holders. So you stake it, you get paid, and it gets burned if it exceeds a certain amount. Yeah. I mean, we've heard it, but is the token going to launch? This is what I'm more worried about. I had a look at the actual protocol. I'm not going to bring it up here because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to. It looks kind of basic, to be honest. They've got a few games on. They've got Plinko. They've got like high or low. And you can only bet in USDT at the moment, which is deposited. Now, before the launch, they launched their Telegram. And I hate Telegram. I think it's just the worst. People can call you on Telegram whenever they want. Anyway, I digress. And someone managed to post a link to the Virtuals protocol, or the Virtuals X Bet protocol, or whatever it is, this betting site, and it was fake. So I ended up, sending money in there because I wanted to be one of the first users. And when you rush, you do make mistakes. I sent like $140, and it turned out that it was a fake site. So and I wanted answers. I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, is it just these two developers that are here? These two guys? Yeah, I mean, you can look at this guy's profile. He's one of the guys who's like, he's got 22. He's not staking any virtuals. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is his public address and he just doesn't want people to know. But yeah, it's up and down. You know, it's up and down, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not I really want to continue holding. Maybe I do because like I feel like this is I believe it's a South Korean protocol, or the devs are based there. And you know, the gambling community out there is pretty massive. You know, they love these type of games and stuff like that. So I feel like the volume will be there if you know, it actually picks up some traction. Anyway, that's one of my investment theses, in quotes. Another interesting thing is that the Virtuals Protocol has announced that USDC is now available for AI agents. So before, when you wanted to use the ACP, you would have to pay in Virtuals. So you top up your Butler wallet. Let me just take you to it. Butler. So if you go to the Butler, da, 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 da. So you can see here, if you go to the Butler wallet now, you could deposit USDC instead of virtuals. So they don't use virtuals tokens. And the reason why they did that is because they believe that the price is fluctuating too much for the agents to actually do transactions together. So say for instance I wanted to pay for a music transaction and it says that is 0.73 virtuals. At the time that the price of that is like $13 or something, but then by the time it all goes through, the price of virtuals has gone down or up, more than likely down. Then yeah, the agent is saying, well, you didn't pay enough, so I can't do it, and then they just refund the money. So it costs the team obviously and the protocol money to actually do refunds constantly via gas fees. I will say though, on several occasions now, that I have tried to, if it actually loads, I have tried to actually do songs on virtuals, and constantly, it's like, damn bro, I'm sorry. Like, when was this? This was today. Damn bro, I'm sorry. Let's try again. Damn, bro, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry about this. Let's try again. Oh, look, see, so that's the 8th. Damn, bro, I'm sorry. Look for another agent. Well, when was this? This was like, you know, it's just constant. You can't actually use the ACP to make songs. I really want an intro song, you know, and a lot of these songs are not copyrighted, so you can use them on your content. So it's really beneficial to have this working. I think it's a money maker that the virtuals team are actually missing out on, and they really need to fix it because it's been a month or maybe 3 weeks. I'm exaggerating. I tend to exaggerate, but like it's been a while. I can go all the way back, like, you know, July 29th. Oh, bummer, bro. It's not working. Oh, here we go again. Try again. When was this? This was the 7th, the 2 days before. Yeah, bro, this is getting ridiculous. It's not working. Okay, let's try there. Like, you know, 25th. I hear you want an audio file. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'll just try and do like a video. You know, like if you do a video, it will have music in the background. So like a music video, then I can just edit out the video and use the tune. I've done that before. It's just more hassle for me, and it costs more to actually produce it on the ACP. So it's not something. Well, I guess maybe I will do that. Let's see. Maybe I'll give it a go. Yeah. So Pump Fun, Virtuals Expert, I feel like is interesting if it bonds. If it bonds. I mean, I'm kind of getting a bit like sideways. $1 million in volume is not small. Like, you know, for virtuals. Virtuals. I mean, you'll see a lot of people in here, like, you know, saying, oh yeah, you know, this token's pumped 5%, or like, you know, look at this one, like 1,298%. That's ridiculous, right? So you'll see it pump up. Like, let's see the candle on that. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's gone. You put like $1,000 in that, you made 12 grand, which is crazy. But then when you look at the market cap, it's 675 grand. So how many people actually own this? And like, yeah, the liquidity is not that much, and this thing can easily drop 500%. Like, it just takes one guy or a whale to just dump it because the market caps are so small. So we're early on virtuals, and you know, there's a lot of things happening where there's a lot of pivots as well. You know, like a lot of things are not changing hands, but how do I put it? The devs are in control of this thing, you know, and despite what certain people might think or whatever it is, if they decide to change the rules, they're going to change the rules, and it could mess up everything you had planned. So best thing to do is play it by ear. I mean, it's good to have strength in numbers. I understand that, but at the same time, you still got to be on your toes. Be on your toes constantly, because at some point, like, yeah, this, you know, games like this, which is crazy. Like, you know, if you're in it, congratulations. But games like this is crazy, but you know, it can very easily flip the other way. Rabita, like for instance, is something you could buy confidently and hold because it's like at least above 100 million, you know. But you won't find Mamo, yeah, you know, Vader faded. You just fade Vader because at the moment he's not, or the team is not really sure what they want to be, you know. They're still trying to find PMF, product market fit. They're trying to find that. Electra, not really sure. Yeah, game, like, yeah. I mean, game is the actual engine that runs everything, but for some strange reason, people don't like it. Yeah, it's just, yeah. There's not really Preddy. I wrote Preddy off. I'll give him that. They basically they might have saw my post and just thought, what, we're gonna really shit on this guy, so let's just smash it. And yeah, the other at 7 million market cap. Major props to you. You're still competing with a bigger narrative out there, but we'll see how it goes. Axel, what I have a lot of faith in, but at the same time, it's like I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not seeing much. Let's get it going. Things are pumping. Prices are moving. Money's moving around. Like whack AI. I really like. Like I really like whack AI. But will it? Will it? I don't know, bro. Like I'm all over the place right now with these AI agents because the market caps are so small. And you could put money into this right now, right? You could put $1,000 into this. It looks good, like the FDD, whatever. It could drop 50% very easily, very easily drop like 50%, and then you've lost half your money. Look at that, 68%, and that was in the course of what? What was that? That's the 31st of July. That was in the course of what, 10 days? I mean, obviously you'd have time to, but once this candle hits, you might have bought here and it's just like it drops and you're down. You're a holder. You're a community member, and no one wants to be a fucking community member. I'm sorry. Um. Anyway, yeah. So I'm sort of like ranting on now. Just like looking at things. This is interesting that the USDC that shows that there is strength in this. Brought to you by Circle Powering USDC. Okay. Yeah. This I would go over it all and just have a look. Low key. I haven't really I'm not really a deep research guy. I don't want to say I invest on feeling or like narratives are cool and everything, but most of the time with narratives they've already played out. So you kind of want to just yeah, I don't know, be first to something. Be first to something. Like Pump Fun, like I said with Pump Fun, it's kind of like people got burned on it so bad and people hate it so much because they're not doing the airdrop. It's kind of something you want to buy. It's kind of something like you got a bit of spare change, you want to throw it in there and just think, okay, if this thing goes to 12 billion market cap is decent. At the moment the market cap's only a billion, so like that's a 12x. You put a grand in, that's 12 grand. Not that I should be talking. This is not financial advice. I'm just talking like how my brain works with it. But yeah, a lot of these things you don't want to be holding or yeah, staking or anything like that, because when the tables turn, they'll turn fast, and people will be in positions to dump on you from very high. From very high, it's like this is not my first rodeo. So just be on guard with your funds and make sure that I want to say do your due diligence, but it's hard to believe anything that these devs and people on the crypto Twitter and X are saying. You just got the only way I feel like you could be successful in this industry is if you're in the vicinity of the people who are building it. And at the moment where I'm situated, it's very difficult to find tangible reasons to invest in things confidently. There, I'll say it. Like other than ETH, Bitcoin, established stuff like Aerodrome. Yeah, other than that, Hyperliquid. Yeah, okay, you want to invest in Hyperliquid. I've seen the token emissions and stuff like that. People don't care about that in a bull. But in a bear, when Wintermute, excuse me, gets an instruction to dump a certain amount of tokens at this price, they will do it, and they'll do it very swiftly. They control the market when it comes to these things. And like I remember with Aerodrome, it was at $2.50, and then there was an announcement that Wintermute's come on board, and blah blah blah. And since then, the price has been not bad right now, but it was horrendous, with the selling, and there was no buyers. It's just like, okay, and obviously in that situation, if you've got like a centralized hub that knows when it's going to sell, you're at a disadvantage. So the competition and the ability for you to do your job in this, wouldn't say job, or to make funds or to do well. I'm trying to avoid saying money, but to do well in this industry, at the moment is tougher than it's ever been. Because yeah, unless you're, like I say, in the vicinity of the people who are in control of these things, it's tough. It's tough. It's very tough. But yeah, the only advice I can say to you is find something that you feel comfortable holding for a particular amount of time. Don't be in the herd. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see certain products move swiftly. Like this AI AGI XV2, for instance, who's just done 1200% in a day or whatever. in the last 24 hours or whenever it was, there's going to be a herd of people that are going to jump on thinking that it's going to keep going. And trust me, bro, like maybe it does, maybe I've got egg on my face. Again, that's nothing new. I'm not ashamed to be like, called out for being a fucking idiot. Like, it's fine. I don't mind being an idiot as long as I don't lose any money. And that's where I'm at in the mindset of this whole thing. It's hard, yeah, it's just difficult. It's just difficult. I'm not complaining. Yeah, but hold on to your pristine assets. Those would be ETH, BTC. I would say Aerodrome to an extent. Yeah, Pump Fun could be a pristine asset. You're getting at a price that was at the ICO price. If you're still here, I'm waffling on, then fine. This is great. But like, yeah, Pump Fun, I feel like this is the perfect time to get in. It's the perfect time to get in. This is what they sold at. I mean, it might collapse another 50% here. It could do that. But at the same time, you just buy more, man, because, I mean, I don't see it going away anytime soon. And the narrative is sort of shifted to ETH anyway. So, let ETH accumulate or go up in price and everyone have a good time and celebrate. Ignore the talking heads who have been around for the whole time, like the DC investors, the Anthony Sassoons, the Bankless boys, all of those guys. They're going to be like, oh, this is great, like, price is going up and blah, blah, and they deserve it. They backed it. I mean, I've been there too. I'm not jumping up down on the timeline celebrating though, because I had to hold through 4 years of fucking bullshit. Okay, like, people, not that it hurts that, but it's just like, are you wrong? Are you wrong in your idea? Have you been wrong this whole time? And it's like, well, no, you haven't been wrong. It's just that what is it? I'll say it again, like, it's like synonymous with being wrong is being early. And you knew ETH was going to be the one, so you buy and hold it, like, you stake it, like, if you want to earn your measly 5%, or you go into alts, or you do something else, and you just try to ignore it, innit? I mean, the best advice I would give as well is just like, for instance, with this pump fund, I think it's just something I'm just gonna just put aside. It's money that you don't particularly need right now, so yeah, just leave it as that. And don't trade on leverage. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. It's a longer form video. I just wanted to get all this information out of my head. I hope it was clear. Probably not. Maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I hope everyone's doing well and enjoying themselves and making lots of token value accumulations. I don't know. Yeah, shit. All right. Peace out.
You made it to the end and you're still here. You should be proud of yourself. You just wasted 30 minutes of your life listening to somebody totally guessing. What's more likely here? Virtual's XBet bonds and launches, the token pumps to Valhalla, and we all make it. Or it's a big fat nothing burger. Obi has been here long enough for you to understand that he isn't good at this game. He really is trying to shill you pump fun tokens when the narrative ended 6 months ago. I feel bad for him. All he wants to do is make it. In the end, he will be exactly where he started. Tap dancing outside of a McDonald's for free fries. You see, it doesn't matter what I say, because none of you are here. You have the attention span of a hamster. Now get back to work. That toilet isn't going to clean itself. Koli out.